welcome. Our third speaker is not here yet, but we're going to start. And when she comes, she's going to join us. So, welcome
All
to the
right.
panel session, everybody. And today's session is about navigating career transitions, embracing multifaceted roles, and overcoming resistance. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And we have our distinguished speakers with us, panelists. We have Chimfoun and we have Phil. Chimfoun, Phil, welcome to the panel session. And then we also have um, Margaret. Margaret is going to be joining us real soon. So while we're waiting for Margaret and before we kickstart the panel session real quick, Chimfa and Phil, you guys are going to introduce yourself in 1 minute and tell us who you are, what you do. Let's get to meet you guys before we start the session proper. So how are we going to do it? Ladies first, Chimfa.
What did you say?
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first then.
All right.
There's a
So
lady
Phil,
in the
you
house.
first. You go first.
Okay, so hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear.
All right. All right. Hi, my name is Phil Christopher, and I'm a messaging coach. So I teach coaches, consultants, course creators, service providers how to communicate their value through effective messaging and marketing content, all right, that really helps you to articulate your value in such a way that you're able to drive demand and sales for your either coaching business or for your online courses and all of that. But specifically, my message and my service is really to coaches and consultants and done for you service providers and digital creators who wants to sell an offer that is between 15K to 35K. All right, you want to launch and sell an offer between 15K to 30. So maybe you want to launch a course, you want to launch a webinar, you want to launch maybe a coaching program or a done for you service that you want to sell between 15 to 35K naira. Then maybe you're having issues with how to really communicate the value of that offer in a way that allows you to sell effortlessly. All right. So my job is to help you clarify your message and help you align your message with the struggles of your ideal clients and then to your offer promise. So that's
Wow,
basically what I
wow,
do.
wow, 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 wow. Good to
That's
meet you,
cool.
Phil. Good to meet you. Welcome. So,
Thank
Chief
you.
Farm, over to you. The main nest.
All right.
Let's
So
meet you.
good evening, everyone. My name is Chimfoun, and I run a brand called One Lad, which stands for One Lesson a Day. Now, I refer to myself as a growth catalyst, and this is what my brand entails as well. So we help people grow either personally or professionally, and we do this with a three-step formula: learn, action, and consistency. So we help you learn. First of all, we help you actually develop the habit of learning, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Then after that, we make you take action on what you've learned because knowledge learned, just like how we've been on the Grow conference. If you
Mm-hmm.
finish learning and you don't take action, then there's a problem.
Spotless.
You just
Yeah.
came to watch YouTube video like you've always been doing. But
Yeah.
when you now learn and you are taking action, there's something that would actually determine whether you're going to grow or not. Are you taking that action consistently enough for you to get that result you want? And once you get, and that is why we also have that consistency part of us. And when we have learn, action, and consistency, then there's one thing that's certain: growth. So that's Chimfound in a bit. Thank you.
Wow, 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 wow. Jim Farm, good to have you here, our growth catalyst. All right. So let's get started with the session. I'm happy to have both of you here. Phil is a messaging coach and Chim Farm is a growth catalyst. All right. So welcome, Chim Farm, welcome, Phil. So let's start
Thank
the
you.
Thank
panel
you.
session proper. So we're going to start with Phil. Ladies first again. Why am I being so like this?
No. It's cool. We did IWD how many days ago? It's what
I
needs to be.
feel
Do we
all
have
right.
any
So
other Mother's Day coming? We
there's
celebrate
more.
women a
There's
lot.
more. Maybe like four more. It's
All
every
right.
week we should do Mother's Day, but yeah. All right. So let's start with Phil. Phil, as a messaging coach,
Mm.
What led you to shift your focus from content? Because I know you were into content a lot. Now you are still doing content, but you have shifted to a more, will I say, unique message, a unique niche. So, as a messaging coach, what led you to shift your focus from content to messaging? Was there a specific realization that made you recognize the importance of addressing the root cause, which is messaging and offers? Could you share how you discovered this and elaborate on your experience in making this switch and giving your audience to embrace this new narrative?
Hello. Thank you very much for this question. A lot of people don't understand these things. Ella can really, Ella should know my journey. Like she knows, how I started, so she know my journey. So, see, if you are listening to me right now, and just listen very carefully to what I have to say now, because I know it's going to help you. One way, if you're able to pick one or two things from what I would say. Now, what I really want to hammer on here on how I was able to realize that, because this is what I also teach. And when I was teaching content, in fact, the way I market myself then, as a last year, early last year, even up until the middle last year, was really I'll teach you how to create content that sells, how to create content that sells, which content they sell, which content. So what you need to understand is content is a very vague language. It's not enough for you to say, okay, now let me bring it down this way. What helped me was I started to realize that if I really want to be known and if I really want to be able to position myself as an expert, I need to niche down. And the people that I follow, that I really look up to, when I start studying them, I now saw that these people have a unique offer, that is really tied to maybe what they want to sell. So the thing is, one thing is identifying where your strength lies, and then that one is one. And then the thing is, if you also want to really own your space in this digital space, you cannot just be vague. You cannot be vague in your marketing. You have to be really specific. So when I understood that, I need to really drill down. And then what helped me was when I realized that content marketing is so big. We have sales content, we have marketing content, we have promotional. There are different types of content under the umbrella of what content really is. So one thing is that I got to understand towards the end of last year the full essence of what content marketing really is, like what it really entails. And then I started to really now start to pull things out and be like, okay, where can I really add the most value? Where can I really, do what I know how to do best? And how can I really differentiate myself from the bulk of people that are really doing the same thing, selling content marketing? Everybody's selling content strategy. How can I drill down in a way that lets me to distinct myself uniquely as well? So when I now understood, and the word messaging was always, because what helped me to really now say it's messaging I'm supposed to be doing. So all this while I've just been selling content, I'm really supposed to like understand what aspects of content I really want to sell. Because the thing is that when you start to grow and when you start to learn, when you start to now gain more awareness, and when you start to advance in whatever you're doing, you now begin to really understand things that, it's just like when a child is growing. So you're advancing. So let me just leave it out. But when I start to advance, I start to realize that content is big. And that is what I also teach. If you're selling content strategy and you're basically just saying, oh, I teach you, or come, any business, you are a business, I can teach you how to create content strategy for your business. You are not effective at communicating. You cannot be effective at communicating the whole essence of what content strategy really is. You have to be specific on which content strategy. Is it for promotion? Is it for sales? Do you understand me, Elo, and every other person that is listening? So that was how I now started to start to remove the things that I didn't want. It's not just content as overall thing, but really messaging in a way that, because that was what I also understood. That was the transformation I got. When I started, you can see that from last year, my content, the way I create my content now is changing. The person I'm speaking to, even yesterday, I re-updated my bio again that, no, I don't want to just speak to coaches anymore. I really want to be specific on, if you want to launch an offer, within the price range of 15K to 35K. It can be a master class, can be an online course. Then I can help you with your messaging. Do you understand? So I think that was
Mm-hmm.
what really happened. I started to get advanced, and that was how I then say, oh, it's not content anymore. I have to really drill down, I have to niche down and be specific enough so that when I start to create content, I can really make sure that these people are understanding that they are the ones I'm speaking to. I think that's basically it.
Wow.
That was so
Wow, wow,
much. I
wow.
love
That's
that.
that's really, really good. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, we can
yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Phil, for that feedback. I really like it because the thing is, when you begin to act, there's something Mark Zuckerberg said. He said clarity comes from doing. You know, when you begin to do something, you get clarity as you go. And I
Yes,
like where you saw that everybody you were looking up to had something tied to them. So, for example, if they think of
exactly.
Eloho, think of BCC, something already comes to your head. You think of Trisha Beats, something already comes to your head.
Exactly.
You think of whoever. Right now, if I think of you now, this messaging thing is already in my head. Like, oh, this is it. When I think of Chimfoun, I think about accountability. That's the thing that is just in my head. You know, so I like that far because before now, you were just doing content, and you were doing content in a very broad way, you know,
Exactly, bro.
and you saw that what you're still doing is content. Because at the end of the day, you're teaching them how to use their content to sell, but your position is in a way like your message. That message is
Exactly.
still content,
Exactly.
but you
Exactly.
try to carve it in a unique way that makes it
Exactly.
unique to you, and that's something that I really love. Thank you so much for sharing that, and it's all boils down to first of all understanding that there is a gap. How do I fill this gap? You know,
Yes. How do you
how can I
separate yourself?
use my how can I use my expertise to fill this gap so that I can differentiate myself?
Yes.
That was just it. And you were able to do that really well with what you have
Yes.
ongoing right now. Well done, well done.
Thank you.
So let's before I come to you for your second question, let me go over to Chimfoun. Chimfoun, as a growth catalyst, I like to call you accountability coach, but let's call you growth catalyst. As a
Anyone at
growth
all.
catalyst, all right. As a great counselor for someone who, you know, you help students, you help business owners, you help individuals, you know, who are seeking effective implementation and time management strategies and techniques. What
Yeah.
motivated you to start this journey? You know, did you just come across a specific need or problem and decided to become a support system for these people? Or you just say, let me just start accountability. Like, what was that thing, that drive that made you start this thing, started helping people? So please share your insights into your decision to pursue this path.
Okay. Um. So I would say that every journey I've made on the internet really started out in 2020, and it started out when during the COVID. I think the first thing I learned was copywriting. And when I tell people that I don't introduce myself as a copywriter, I just use the skill to better myself. Now, one thing that happened during copywriting, when I was learning copywriting, is that I didn't register for a course. I didn't, it was just like a personal drive, something I just stumbled upon it and I went for it, like studied by myself, found a community, joined the community. They had a challenge, kept on doing their challenges until I was now like ready to now say I want to take a course. And when I took the course in the next one, like in 1 week time, I finished the course, started implementing, launched out a program related to what I know how to do best. I think that was for medical students at that time. It was COVID, so I launched out a program to help them read during the COVID strike. So to help them learn because they were having difficulty to learn. And I think that was like the beginning of everything because first of all, using my skill of copywriting to sell that. And when the program started, I called it the red package, right? Because in quotes, COVID was like an alert thing and it was like red. Everywhere was red. So one thing we did every day is we logged on about 45 students each day. They will take attendance. We'll give them, I'll prepare a short summary of a topic they are meant to learn and send to them. And everybody is like meant to do an assignment at the end of the day. So that was something I started doing. Like it was just in me. until I started dabbling. You know that part where you are interested in a whole lot of things until you now lose yourself. So that was what now happened to me between 2020, 2021, up until 2022. As at 2022 May last year, I just had to step back because I had acquired a whole lot of skills. Of course, I was using them to make money, but I didn't like the fact that if I want to like come on and tell somebody what do I do, there's like no one thing I can say I'm doing. I'm just a guy with a whole lot of skill. I learned a term for that recently, like a polymath. I love learning a lot. Um, I
Can you
love
hear me,
learning
Phil?
a.
Yes,
Okay, we
yes.
Did you
lost you.
lose?
Yes, we
Hello?
did.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, where did you lose me at?
You said during the COVID where you guys meet and then you take attendance and stuff.
Oh, okay. Wow. I means that I've actually gone. All right. So I said each day they took attendance, and at the end of the day, I give them a short summary of a topic. There was a timetable that they had to follow throughout that period. Each day I give them the short summary. They use it and read. I give them an assignment in that same document. They turn in their assignments, and that was it. That was my first exposure with holding a big number of people accountable to do something over a period of time. But the very funny thing is that I didn't realize that that was my strength at that time because
Hmm.
it was COVID. Everybody was anything, shiny object syndrome, anything that was looking good,
Yeah.
I would go and learn. Anything that was looking good, I would go and learn. And I ended up having a whole lot of skills. Like I'm someone that I'm sitting on a lot of skills. I know how to do a lot of things. I recently learned a term for that. Like I'm a polymath. I love learning new things. If something is new, I just love learning. I don't like being left behind. Okay. But this thing made me confused up until from 2020, 2021, up until 2022. And I remember speaking to a friend of mine. I told him that I have the skill of copywriting. I use it at my job. I use it to make money, right? But I don't enjoy it. If I want to create a program of mine, I would not feel good to create a copywriting course. Okay. If I
Mm-hmm.
then also any other skill I had, I did not feel good to say I want to teach, even if it's sales and marketing. I know how to come up with sales and marketing strategies. But to say I want to create a program around it, I did not enjoy doing that. So I asked my friend, okay, what do you think I can do? And he told me that you are very good at organizing people. You're very good at holding people. When somebody says I want to do something, you are very good at following up that person to the end. You know how to like disturb them or whatever. And all of a sudden, I think around September time, I was just on my status, my WhatsApp status. I kept on typing. I think people were having this anxiety that the year was about to end. So they had a good lot of goals at the beginning that they had not achieved. And they now wanted to like either move the goals over to the new year, or feel pressured to complete the goal with the remaining from October to December. And I just put on my status that that pressure is not necessary. All right, you can take September to be your new year. Between now and the next September, 365 days, what is that goal you say you want to do? Sign up to this program. I called it the Show Up, Keep Up Challenge, where people show up and keep up daily, and I hold them accountable for that. And that was how I now finally specialized in accountability. That was how I started being known as the guy that shows up and keeps up with whatever he wants to do. A lot of people now call me Suku because that's the short form of show up, keep up, Suku. And that was how I actually transitioned into
Wow.
the accountability. Yes, sir.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. And from everything you've said, if I can pick some things from there, it took you like investing in yourself, right? And then
Yeah,
implementing to be able to
yes,
find that thing that you actually good at. And aside that, it also took somebody to call your attention to it, which brings us
yes,
back to people and our support systems. Because if that person has not called your attention to, maybe you'd have discovered maybe in maybe a longer time, may taking you a longer time, or maybe later
yes.
when you'd have discovered that. Wow, that's really really amazing. Thank you very much for sharing that journey. Hi, Margaret. Welcome to the panel session. Good to have you here. All right, Margaret, are you here? Okay, so if Margaret is not here, we'll go back to Phil. And Phil, the second question I have for you today is, how do you balance running a business and being a mom? Because I know it can be very challenging. How have you managed to juggle these responsibilities effectively? Do you have any strategies or support systems that have helped you navigate demands on both sides?
Like of being a mom, right? Because I'm a mom. That's what you're asking, right?
How do you navigate being a mom and running a business? How do you?
Huh. See, let me just, I've been meaning to say this. In fact, I used to tell my younger sister because she's a banker. I used to tell her every time, make all your money now before you marry. Don't come and say, because when you marry, the rest, in fact, it's going to be double trouble. Hmm. See, my daughter don't used to allow, she was supposed to be here right now as I'm speaking. Well, I've been preparing her mind. In fact, I put her to bed. Then my husband just came and he took her downstairs now. So me, I'm upstairs. That's what I'm having this time. Now, if not,
Um,
you know the first when we had that one in 2021, when we had
ah,
this content,
yeah, she was there.
yeah,
IG Live, yeah.
exactly. Ah, it was not easy. In fact, it's not easy being a mom and then still doing this. Sometimes I'm creating content. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
Yeah,
clear.
we can.
So sometimes now I'm creating content, especially when I want to do reels. That's why now most of my posts that you're seeing are just carousels because I like to do talking head videos. But if the house is noisy, I cannot do anything. And it's a struggle, Jerry. I don't have any assistants, I don't have any chef, I don't have any cleaner, whatever. I do my work, bait them, take them to school, feed them. So sometimes I sleep by 2 a.m. because if I want to create a carousel post, for instance, I just get the ideas. Maybe I have a list of ideas on my notes. So I just make sure that okay, this one rhymes with the team I'm working with, or rhymes with my current strategy. And then what I do is I just try to prepare my mind. And in the night, like early hours of the morning by 2, that's when I'll just be awake till 2. And then I start working on the carousel, the design, the messaging, everything. And I make sure that it's ready. So what I do is I also write the caption. I have a WhatsApp, whatever I'm using. I just write it on WhatsApp and then post. So the next one, all I do is just copy and then paste. It's not easy at all. In fact, it's not easy. It's not just easy. I still tell people if
Tell
you're
us, how do
young,
you do it? Tell us all the things. How do you? I know you've told us more of it, but you just say it's not
yes,
easy. It's not easy. Tell us. Tell us the
just
cocoa.
just like I said, now I've not been creating talking head reels for some time, and that's because the house is not like they're just making noise. But the only it's the only time I used to be very effective when the struggle is not really so much regarding my children disturbing and all of that is when the first one is in school. I have two daughters. So when Michelle is in school, then I can just prepare Melissa, prepare her, feed her, and then pet her. Then she will sleep. When she's sleeping, I can create my content. Like I can just do like 10 videos at once. So like the next thing I need to do is later I can just start editing them later on gradually, as I go on. But another thing I used to do is just like I said, I sleep very late. So one thing I know for and how I've been able to stay consistent is because it's my business, I need to make sacrifice. And that is why when I see young people, if I know that everybody have their own struggles, oh, I don't know what your own struggle is, what might be making you not to stay consistent. But if you really have your business in mind and you really have a target and be like you have set goals, you have what you want to achieve in a year, you have what you want to achieve in 3 months, and you know that you are building something for the long run. You're not just doing it as a side hustle. You have to make sacrifice. And this my business is all about sacrifice. The fact that I'm showing up for like 3 days now, I've not been able to show up on my stories. Why? Like I like to show up doing videos. And I thank God Ella did one tutorial one time where you can just talk on audio without really showing your face on story. So I've been also trying to manage that. Sometimes I just talk on audio and then post it, right? But what I really like to do is show up, like just record the video and then talk about now that they're even on midterm and when they're in the house, I can really barely be productive. I struggle to be productive. But when they are not, I try to maximize the time. So that's basically what like I said, I don't have any assistant like maybe graphic designer or anybody helping me with my content. I do everything, even with the housework. I don't have any assistants in the house. I stay alone with them. With my husband don't stay. it comes only on weekends. So that's why when you even told me about it, I'm like, hey, hello, please make my own on weekends. So when my husband will be around, like, can't we look at Melissa just in case any trouble? So that's just when it comes to content, I do everything myself. Like I said, I just make sure that I have the best time to make sure that I've been able to record videos or create carousel. So that's one of the things that you can do. If you're finding issues with, maybe if you're a mother, you're a parent, and you also have little, maybe toddlers, you have to sacrifice your time, your sleep, your rest. So you have to cut all of those things. If you know you want to stay consistent, or honestly, you have to make sure that you're making sacrifices. And that's what I do. I have a list of, like, most of the time when I'm dating, I have content ideas. I just make sure that when I comes out, I start writing
You
them
write
down.
them
Or I
down.
just record it. Yes,
That's yeah,
exactly.
shower
Most of
thoughts.
the time is I just record it on my phone. When I record it on WhatsApp, I send. So why I'm recording it is that I want to get the,
So you
the
do that
way that I
WhatsApp
want.
thing too. I
Yes,
have
so
a WhatsApp
it's my
number
best.
that I send content to. I send things to.
Exactly. That's
I
my
think
This
best
is
everyone
how
does
we
tool.
that
have that.
WhatsApp thing. I think everyone has that WhatsApp thing.
So when I just record it like this, I know that okay, when I want to pick it, I can either turn it to a reel or make it a carousel. So it's easy for me. So when I want to create, I'll just make sure that okay, I stay up awake till like 2, write my carousel, do everything, write the caption. The next morning I just post. The next time you see me is, that's why one thing that was also difficult for me while I'm trying to juggle being a parent, creating content, my business online is really because I also now realize the importance of really trying to engage genuinely with your audience. Really not just for because you want them to engage back with your content, but really try to create meaningful relationships such that they really see that like you make friends now. That's why they call it social media, even if not really friends, but at least try to connect. And yes, so it's really the engagement part. So most time, what I see, even when I have time to like, I want to say something meaningful on somebody's content. Maybe Chidima will not be saying, "Ah, mommy, yeah, yeah, yeah." What I wanted to say will just go. The thing will just vanish. Before you know, I'll just drop my like and I'm gone. So engagement on my own part is really difficult, but sometimes I try to make sure that okay, today, even if in the middle of the night you see me liking people's posts and dropping comments, maybe somebody will be like, how can this person be dropping a comment on my post at 2 a.m.? No mind me, that is the time that I have. So that's it, yeah.
Yes, wow. Thank you very much for sharing that. I can imagine the struggle. Even me that I'm a single girl. I'm telling myself, "Mom, before I get married, I have to prepare myself. And I have to make sure that I have support system in my team that can be doing the work because
Honestly,
the truth
honestly.
is true. As a single person, I cannot even manage only myself. Imagine when you now have a husband.
Ah,
That will be your number one baby. Then you now
ah,
have a baby, a child. There's not be a baby. Ah, God, I beg. It's a
it's
lot.
serious work.
And like
It's
what you've
serious work,
shared,
honestly.
I believe time management is key. Being able to manage your
Exactly.
time and know when you are more productive and when you can actually do certain things. Also understanding your time is very key here. Another thing you can also consider here is maybe getting a community manager that can manage, that engagement part for you or some
Yeah.
other parts of your business. But those tips are really helpful. Thank you very much for sharing that. So, Chimfoun, you are next in line.
Okay.
The next question I have for you is this. I know that you're a student, or you've graduated. Congrats. I think you just recently
I'm a
graduated, right?
student to
Okay, you're a student.
graduated. Ah. No, we are looking forward to graduation. I'm looking forward.
Okay, so as a student and a business owner and a coach, managing time can be demanding because you holding people accountable. You also need to be accountable to yourself. How have you been
Yeah.
able to effectively balance your responsibilities as a student, run your own business, and fulfill clients' needs? Are there any strategies or technique you employ to ensure optimal time management?
Okay. Can you hear me clearly? Because most
Loud
times
and
I see
clear,
this video.
yes.
All
I
right.
can hear
All
you.
right. So anytime this question is a question I get asked a lot. How do you balance? Because people say I do a lot of things. So the next thing they ask is how do you balance? I even recently spoke to the one student. The same question was raised. How do you balance? And I have only one answer to this question. There's no balance. There's only balancing. Okay? There's only balancing. It's not something you do. It's not something you do and say, yes, I have everything covered. This
Mm-hmm.
thing from 8 to 4, I'm doing this one from 9 to, no, it's not, it does not happen. It's not even
Life can
realistic.
happen to anybody. Yeah,
Life happens every time, every minute of the day.
I
Okay,
agree.
so when I now say that there is only balancing, I also recently wrote about this. I think my last this I'm in my final year, right? And I opened a newsletter to just document my last days in final, like in medical school, kind of. I called it Ultimos Dias, and I actually went in depth to answer this question on that thing. Now, one thing I normally talk about
How will you
is
do
the
your
shift.
newsletter?
Okay, I'll put that in the comments after once I'm done with
Okay, or
this.
you can send it to
Okay.
me,
All right. Okay, I'll do
or
that.
send it
I'll
to
do
me
that.
in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a private chat or whatever it means, so that we can join the the newsletter, because there are people who may want to also know about this journey.
Okay. All right.
Okay, seen it. All right, so you can go on. Thank you.
All right. So there's something I created for myself in this medical school, and I started talking about it. I started making it public since last year, and it's called the shift model. Okay, it's called the shift model. And as a student, let me not use a medical student, right? As a student, I I realized that the first thing you have to have at the back of your mind, one thing that makes the shift model work is time management. Okay. Now, when you look at a week has 168 hours. Now, that is something you should let's now carry. We'll just do small mathematics, but I'll be very, very fast about it. A week has 168 hours. Now, a student has to go to school from 8 to 4. Someone like me, I go to school from 8 to 4. We have classes from 8 to 4. So that is 8 hours a day times 5, Monday to Friday. That's 40 hours in a week, right? Then
Wow.
it's recommended that every student should read at least 6 hours a day. It's
Um,
recommended, though. I did not say it's what is recommended at least 6 hours a day. Now, if you do 6 times 7, that's 42. So we have 40, 42. Let the mass is
that's like
massing now.
82 hours.
Yeah, the mass is massing now. All right, so then you now have sleep. So this is the if you've heard the term triangular student, a triangular student is someone who does school, read, and sleep. That's the only life they have in school, right? So in the sleep part, it's recommended that you have at least 8 hours
Eight
every
hours.
day. So if you do 8 hours times 7, that's what 52. So 52 plus what did we have in the other one? 40
82.
plus 40, 82, right?
Yeah.
52 plus 82. You should be having this math self.
134.
Okay, sorry. 8
134.
times 7 is 56, please. So
8 times
that's
7 is
138. Yes,
138. Yeah.
that's 138. So if a triangular student that just does school, study, and sleep uses 138 hours out of 168 hours. So they have 30 hours that is not really accounted for. But people like me, I'm not a triangular student. I now call myself a quadrangular student. And you see that 30 hours, that is where that's what I now call the shift. All right.
Perfect.
So, so that is now what I call the shift. But the funny thing about the shift now is that, like I said, these things are not rigid. So when you now split the time in a week into these 4 compartments: school, study, sleep, shifts. So now it means that if you use the standard one, 30 hours shift, 56 hours sleep, and the rest. Now, if you say, okay, this week I want to sleep less, I want to sleep at least 5 hours every day, it means that you are going to be having like 5 times 7, that's 35 out of 56.
Extra 30.
You
Yeah.
saved yourself, like, so you can now carry that one and shift it into any other compartment. That is now the balancing. So you should always be able to move one thing. So if you are like someone like me now, in the coming days, I'm going to be writing my final exams. right? And it needs me to do a lot of preparation. So currently, I'm reducing my shift time, I'm reducing my sleep time, and I'm trying to increase my study time.
Study time.
So that's basically the concept of the shift model. And I think it's something I'll keep preaching, especially when I graduate from medical
It's
school.
really good.
Because
I've never heard about
because
it before. Nice.
no, it's novel. So it's like I think it's something I just came up with when I really studied myself. Like I said, I get the question, how do you balance? So I took the time last year to like answer the question, and I developed the
Wow.
shift model. Yeah. So the shift model is what I use to balance, to achieve balance, but never get balance. Just keep balancing. Okay.
There's no balance anyway because there's sometimes even when I write my to do, well, the entire day I will not do one thing on that to do.
To do that does not get done.
I'll just go and sleep. Tomorrow I'll carry over to do list. And I know that we all can relate here. See, we are all humans. Even with the even see, it's good to have all of these things planned, but on days where your body does not follow, I beg, just rest. It's not, and that's why I like
Eh,
what Chimfoun said. You cannot achieve that balance because you can even be doing this shift method. There will be a particular day where your body say, well, you know, this week we are not shifting
Carry more
anymore.
sleep. Carry
We
more
are not
sleep.
shifting anywhere.
Carry more sleep. Sleep more
On
this
that,
week.
I want to sleep.
Sleep more.
You know. So there's time where your body will just say, no, I am not doing this. This is what I want, you know. So in as much as you're planning, you're looking for this balance. Balance is not always there. Even after the school, let's even take out school. I'm not going to school now. I don't have a
Exactly.
9 to 5 currently. Okay. But I'm studying. I'm studying online. I'm taking a 1 year program. That's kind
Yeah.
of, I'm not going to regular school. I'm taking a 1 year program. And they demand me to have every week we have 1 hour, 2 hours live class. You have to also finish the LMS content. That's my own life. Then I have my business, I have client work. If you want to still use this shift method, it's something that you can. So, what are the things? What are the must? So, for a student, the must do is your schoolwork. You
Yeah.
must do. So, for a nine to
Yeah.
fiver, your must do is your 9 to 5 job first of all. Before anything, don't even. If you don't
Exactly.
work, they'll sack you flat.
Exactly.
So your
Take
must
the
do is your nine to
shift.
five.
Take the
Then
shift as that thing that you're interested in doing out of your major thing.
your
So
major,
sometimes
yeah,
you can just like be fueling it, sometimes be growing it. You understand? That's what the shift is, that shift part.
yeah, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that, Chimfoun. Me to have learned something new. Hey, shift.
All
Don't
right,
worry.
all right, all right.
What I use this,
Let me stop
friends.
let me stop you a little there. Because
Okay.
it's not people when people are with me physically, you know, my brand is called One Lesson a Day. And one thing we want, the slogan is like every day has its own lesson.
Of
So
course, sure.
today we have given you your own lesson for today. It means that
Yes, I've collected it.
my brand
I've
is
learned.
and I hope everybody has learned their own lesson for today too.
Yes, so thank you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So and now we are done with the book question. We're going to go off book and just talk as so this question goes to both of you. What are the common challenges you face as trying to make meaning of your business is a lot. Trying to make meaning of your business. Sometimes you feel discouraged. Do all the strategy, they work. Then maybe you go work small. You got to invest. You be feeling bad. What are some of those struggles, and how have you been able to, encourage yourself? I'll use that word encourage because there's a day I started and I was just crying. I was like, forget this way. This is a lot. They show up. They post. There's sometimes that I legit I will cry like, why is this not? We have these big goals. Like after I post this thing, bam, everything done. Then you not post them. Especially when you're launching something. Especially when you're launching something, you're able to encourage yourself, manage expectations, and then also what are some of these things, these small things that happens to you that you just like, let's say I want to go find work. So Phil, we are going to start with you.
Ah, I say bless, I won't go firework. Hello, leave you. Okay, yes, I actually thought of that. So I was telling my husband, I say, like I say this business, I need to find work so that I would get money. When I start having outside money, then I can have mine. And that's it. But one thing I know is that let me start from the struggles. So the struggles are real. All right, the struggles are real, and there's really struggle. It's just that um you can come now. I'm still here. Okay, so um okay, like I was saying, the struggles are real, yeah. So but then because I know, should I talk about some of the struggles? Well, like I just shared some of my struggles. My family trying to navigate business. I think that's just the struggle, yeah. But it's okay if we
When it
can
comes
get
to
past the
not seeing
struggle.
that results that you look for, we all have yeah.
Okay,
How do you
okay.
encourage yourself? You know, pick yourself up again and say, let's come again. Let's try again.
Yes, yes. So one thing that really helped me is it's having a kind of mindset. So me, I've already, because mindset matters a lot. The way that you think really matters, and the mindset for which you show up for the business matters. And then the belief, and what how do I say it now? The belief you have around your business also matters, but these are the things that's going to help you. So when they remove the success from your business and it's just left with you are you just going to be empty? Like if they remove your business success now, are you just going to be empty and be like, oh, I don't have anything else? You still have yourself. Like you're still going to have who you are, your essence. So the business is just a part of your life and it's not your entire life. And that is just the mindset I used to operate my business. Because if you go with the mindset of like, okay, I want to make 100 sales this quarter, and then you set out to launch, you do all the mad marketing strategies, everything, you publish, you do, and the whole thing, and then it fails, you can run mad. That's why I always advise people, don't go with the mindset of like, oh, is it like it's like a two sides of a coin. Go with, you can fail, and when you fail, accept it. You can also succeed. When you succeed, it's not by chance that you succeeded. You succeeded because you actually put in the work, and then you are just being rewarded for the work that you have actually put into the business, right? So it's having the right mindset towards how you show up and what you define as success. So one example that I want to use is this my course that I just recently launched. Before I launched, I actually used the course to test how far my marketing and my messaging is working. I just wanted to know. And my target was really like, I just want to know if I start putting out content, like from the way I've shifted and from the way I've transitioned from to where I am right now, how far is the marketing working? What are the inquiries I'm getting? And what are the type of leads that I'm currently attracting to the business? So those are the things that I was judging my success with. So it also depends on what do you define as success, and so most people will be like, oh, if I'm not making any sale, even though I'm promoting a course, that means I'm failing. But the truth is that if you're getting at least, even if it's inquiries, and if somebody is able to forward your content that you publish and forward it to your DM and tell you, oh, this content got to me. Thank you for putting this out. That is success. So do you get what I'm saying? So there's going to
Yes.
be struggle. There's going to be struggle. So even if you're doing the things and you feel like you're not seeing results, it depends on what you're defining as success, what success means to you. So, but if you really look at it, the success doesn't have to be white or black. What if you're supposed to go to Abuja, but maybe at a certain day, but then you're not able to get to Abuja that day, but then you move from where you are to maybe somewhere closer to Abuja. You are making progress, and that is success to me. And that is why I've not been able to fall out of business, because if I go by, oh, I want to see my mates, so see what they are doing. This one launched, and then 5 people bought. Me now, I'm launching, only one person bought. You will fall out of business. Why? Because you're using other people's lens, just like my coach will say.
To
You're using
compare
other
yourself,
people's
yeah.
lens to look at your own business. It's very wrong. I judge my metrics based on metrics that I give myself and not based on what the social media are saying or whatever. No. You get, so that has really been something that has helped me. What was the other question? I think there are two questions. One is how I've forgotten the other
Yeah,
question you
I think
asked.
how do you encourage yourself?
Okay, yeah. So how I encourage myself is that I make sure that I follow people like Elo now. If you follow Elo closely, even though there might be times where you're going to break down or where you're going to be discouraged, Elo is one of the people that when I knew Elo, she was at, I know they forget. I told Yai the other day, I knew Elo when she had only 900 followers. It's for my face like this, 900 followers. For my face, she grew up to like 10, almost 10K before her accounts were brought down. So with that, I saw that if this young girl can be doing this thing, like, what am I even doing in this life? I follow people that encourage me. I don't they follow people and be say today they will show up, tomorrow they're not will show up. I don't, because you're going to make me to not also want to be showing up. So the people that you follow
Mm-hmm.
matters a lot. Who are you looking up to? The people that you learn from and you listen to, they matter a lot. If you're always going to pages where they're always posting discouraging, I followed Insta blog the other day because all the posts they were making sometime, they were like people that are dying, people that are killing themselves, children that are jumping in house. Like if I follow you for long with this one, you start affecting my business. So I
How
unfollow
much?
them. Yes, exactly. So the people that you follow and listen to matters a lot to the success of your business and how like your consistency. So even Yai, when I knew Yai, she was I think 4K followers. Before now she's 15K. So if I follow the people that I know, I will be encouraged. I want to follow people. So that is just my encouragement. I listen to them, I follow them closely, I study them, I observe them. I don't just learn based on I really listen to them closely. And anytime I listen, I go, if you are doing it, you say you have struggles, but if you're able to overcome all of those things and then you're still going, then why can't I? Do you get, follow the people that you know you want to get the type of results that they've gotten? Like, period.
Period. And that's a period.
Period.
No,
Ah,
that's really really good because sometimes when you see people share their journey, and that's what we're having. That's the reason why we're even having this panel session. When you see people share their experiences, you feel motivated. You know that I'm not only me they see couple for this thing. Oh. And I like why you said come on eye for people thing. You know when you start using you see Trisha B's post that had 200 sales,
Mm.
you'll be say you get you
ah.
get a little bit they cry. Do you know what Trisha B has invested? Do you know what she has put in that that you don't even have to put in?
Yes.
So when I stopped, how then when Nigeria branch would just post 20 million, me say, hey, people just they launch something, get 20 million. Maybe we post 5,000 students. I don't want to carry calculator. Back. 20. I wanted to run mad. Like, why am I not even making my own 20 million, And then I understand that my journey is not your journey. I can do a launch right
Yes.
now. And that's why I think your results should be based on you, not based on what you see people do or what you see people make. Even if I sell to you and say, oh, hello guys, I use this strategy to launch my online course and I got 200 sales. That does not mean that if you use the strategy, you too you get
It
200
will
sales.
work for you.
Because number
Yeah.
one, the resources that I have, you may not have it. The help that I
Yes.
have, you may not have it. I have built authority. Maybe you have not built any authority. You need to also, there are so many factors to consider. Somebody said that everybody does not have 24 hours in a day. Some people have less, some people have more, some
I'm
people
telling
have the
you.
exact
Yes,
24
bro.
hours. And that's true. When you look at it, there's some people who their own, they wake up in the morning, they already established their business. People are doing work for them. Their own 24 hours is just to be flexing and just be you will be sitting there enjoying. You will say, this person they enjoy you. You don't know what that person do to get to that point. There's some people who that entire 24 hours will not sleep, you're walking around the clock. You know? So we don't have the same resources, we don't have access to the same things, the same opportunity. So stop judging yourself by what people do. So thank you very much for that Phil. So Chimfoun, over to you. How do you find encouragement when you get disappointed, and what instances have you had?
I don't know. Wait, before I answer my question, so that this thing doesn't leave my head. There are a lot of things. But first of all, I want to just ask the audience: how many of you are afraid of failure? I think a lot of you can see the comments. So, how
Yes,
many
yes.
of you
How
are
many
afraid
of
of
you are afraid
failure?
of failure?
How many of you are afraid of failure?
I think I'm also afraid. Who's not afraid? Hey, when I was launching this conference, I was so scared. I was like, will people come? Will people show up? You know,
So
how
so
many of you
the
are afraid
reason
of failure? Answer.
so
Their feedback is on the screen.
I'm seeing emojis. Oh. Well, I mean, failure is something that has actually, I don't know, this world. If there's one emotion that has driven a lot of people, apart from normal romantic emotions and the rest, I think the fear of failure is something that everybody has in common. Everybody has in common, and it's crazy. It's very very crazy. And the other day, I put on my status, be open to failure, be open to failure, and be eager to succeed. There are two. It's one sentence, but it tells you a lot, right? No matter in anything you do, be ask yourself, what if this fails? Then, when you've accepted that this can fail, what can you do? So that's why they said be eager to succeed is there, because if you are eager to succeed and you are open to failure, the more positives are in the success, and at the end of the day, you actually succeed. Okay.
Yeah.
Another quote I love, is by, if anybody has read this book, The Greatest Salesman in the World by OG Mandino. There's this quote from book, the scroll tree. I love people in 2021. They'll know that was my favorite quote, and it's also what I used in my academics. Failure will never overtake me if my determination to succeed is more. Like, the fact that failure, the reason why that statement was made is that if you are running a race, failure is also in that race, right? It's not like
Yeah.
failure is out of the picture, but it will never overtake you as long as your determination to succeed. So it's more like you know how races can be, right? When you're running a
Yeah.
race, somebody is trying to overtake you. The person will just be at your back. He has met you. Yeah, you and the person are running at the same lap. That's how failure is. It will keep meeting you at certain points of your race. But the fact that you always want to succeed will make you put in your all. And I'm like, no, 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 this guy, no, don't overtake me, don't overtake me, don't overtake me. And that is the same thing I experience every single day, because being a medical student is crazy, right? Being a medical student is crazy. Being a medical student, before now, I had two jobs. I just recently left one because I have to, like I mentioned, I want to shift
Exam.
back
Yeah.
to my studies, right? So I just recently left one. But before that, I had two jobs, and I also was running my brand and doing medical school at the same time. There are sometimes medical school will just bring its own wahala, and
Hey, come,
most
come,
times
come.
is and most times everything will just have to like go on pause, like job. They just like, in fact, whenever anything wants to take a pause, most times is the one that I own, which is my brand, and it's most times very very sad, because I know that if I was not in school and there was a certain level of commitment I put into my brand, it would have grown beyond what it is now. But because I have
Uh-huh.
accepted that these things can happen, the place I found myself now, I can be putting my all right now, but life will happen from any side. And at the end of the day, this one just has to go down. So last month, there was something I was telling my team members. Last month was like the most unproductive month in my team. Everybody in the team had something that was worrying them, including me. And that everybody in the team had something that was worrying them, including me. Like, my own is that school was the craziest in it. Then, hey, Phil, your baby has come finally. Alright, so like I was saying, everybody had something that was worrying them. I reached out to my team members. They will say, if it's not Nigeria that is worrying them, there's one emotional thing they are going through. And sometimes I just had to take it like, be a human, because me, I also knew I was going through a lot. And I just had to accept, okay, guys, you see, I just looked at, assessed the situation. What are we doing in the next 12 months? Does he need everybody to represent? Okay, everybody take this 1 month off. Let us rest. Let us use it and chill small so that we can, when we attend to everything that's been disturbing you, pay attention to those things that are making you feel like you can't push forward.
All the
Then,
village people where they follow you.
or you just pay attention, everybody. Then, I think it was just last Sunday, we now had a meeting. And I told them that, you see, I recognized that everybody was actually going through a lot. And one thing I love about going through a lot, there was an event I attended recently. Somebody said that every time people are reaching out to him and telling him, yeah, I'm going through a lot, I'm going through a lot. Who is not going through a lot? And at the end of the day, and
Honestly,
at the end of the day, he now
honestly,
said, at the end of the day, he now said everybody should tell each person happy going through a lot. So he can say happy because everybody, my a lot may not be a lot, but as I did now, I'm going through a
honestly,
lot.
yeah.
Lucky is going through her own a lot. Phil is going through her own a lot, right? So
Um,
most times now,
church.
when he now came to my team, I told them that at the end of the day, all of us were going through a lot, and I understood that. But you see, we have this thing to launch in the next 1 month. Most times, when we focus on our problems for a long time, we stop thinking about the solutions. All right, I'll repeat it again. When we focus on our problems for a long time, we stop thinking about the solution. And I will now cite the example of what Phil said about when she was following Insta blog and the rest. There was a post I wrote last year about how I hate the news. I hate the news. You know I did not really hate the news until I stumbled upon one Instagram content, right? That made me like, it was just something I learned, and like, the news is actually mostly negative. The news is negative media. When you consume the news a lot, you will just be like, especially in COVID. When COVID came, guys, when COVID came, I was like NCDC ambassador. You know that time NCDC used to publish the number of people
I
that
did.
have COVID, people that have died on my WhatsApp status. If you want to get after NCDC, immediately NCDC post, come to my status. You don't need to stress yourself to go on Twitter. Just come. I will update you how many people were tested positive today and that
Yeah,
kind
you
of thing.
both.
But do you know that when I focused on that thing for a long time, it distracted me from what I could do with that time at home and the rest. And until I stopped following NCDC and using that time, I used to be, it's around 11 p.m. They used to release it. Using that time, I used to
Yeah,
use and focus on NCDC results. To now use it and be studying that course I said I was studying, the copywriting course. That was when my life started to change. So most times, what you consume too has a way of making you go through a lot. It's not like when
I
you're
agree.
sad, you're
Yeah,
not going to look at, you're going on social media and not seeing, number one, you'll see an example of people that broke up. You'll not be like, this man, men has come, women has come. You will now join the argument. You that is already having a lot of negatives in your life, adding more negatives again. You will not go to another
honestly,
place again, see another negative news. You will just be like, oh, this word self, that just negative, negative, negative. And you don't want to see positive. It's very sad. Me, anytime I'm experiencing a downtime, the best thing, instead of me to go on social media and just be scrolling, I'll just go to Mr. Macaroni, all this, because I know that comedy can never be negative. I just go and you can see me spend up to 1 hour, 2 hours when I'm actually very down, frustrated on YouTube. I don't do TikTok because TikTok has a way of being stupid. Okay, the algorithm just they mess up anyhow. But YouTube knows what I like. When I scroll up, it's giving me another thing. When I scroll up, it's giving me another thing. All those things will now make me, after I watch them enough, I'll now be like, okay, yes. So what is this thing I want to now do? What is this problem that I'm facing? This is okay. How can I think about the solution? Then I now settle down after having some time to brood, but not spending every time to brood over the challenge that I'm in. After having that time, then after distracting myself, so you have some time to be with the problem, distract yourself from the problem. That time you are using to distract yourself from the problem, there's one thing that's happening with your head. Your head is somehow coming up with solutions, somehow thinking. Somehow, if you can even go and sleep, forget that problem for that day, then wake up in the morning, then pay attention to your head. You see that time you're no longer brooding in what is going on. You're now thinking of how do we go forward. Okay. And that is the way I always do it whenever I face challenges, especially maybe when my business is not going as expected because of everything that's going on with school and the rest. Sometimes I want to market. There was a time that see me that said I know how to do marketing strategy. When I wanted to launch Suku 3.0, is it 2.0? I did market 4 days. Nobody has even bought anything. I had to reach out to my mentor. I went and told my mentor. I typed in his DM. I always go back there and go and laugh. I told him, sir, it's like I don't know how to do marketing again because I put this thing up 4 days ago. I did put my body for that. Nobody top. Nobody has bought. Next thing then what he told me made me and he said, then you don't stop learning. And that is why I also call, apart from me, I always refer to myself as I have a shirt I always wear, I am a daily learner. Because whenever you face a challenge, there's a lesson that you can learn that will take you out from that challenge. So that is what I always look for. If there's a problem, if there's anything, the way I encourage myself is find out that solution, that even if it's a blog post I read that can help me with that problem at that time, I do it so that I can get out of that phase. So that's my contribution to this conversation.
Wow. Omo, you guys came loaded today. My head on full. And I know that if I leave us, we'll keep talking from now till tomorrow. I will still have new things to say. Like, no, this session has been really amazing. Phil, Chimfoun, I've learned a lot of things from you guys, and it's not easy. I admire Phil a lot, being a mom, being a wife, running her business. And I used to think sometimes, like, when you get married now, you that sometimes entire day you never eat, you just be there working. You don't marry picking day, husband day. Let's even remove picking first. Let's talk about husband first, husband day. I'll come say I don't want chop. Uh, it's actually, even though your husband is understanding, it will be different. You cannot, when after there's already somebody else, you have to also have conscience now. You're gonna say, I mean, he was understanding you sort of you still have conscience. But so thank you so much, guys, for being vulnerable today and also teaching us. Aside being vulnerable, you also taught us today. So before we go, 1 minute each for you guys. If there's one thing you want to tell creators, freelancers, what would that thing be? Just 1 minute each, because I know if I leave on now, hey, the two of you came prepared for me. Today is the grand finale. We'll scatter everywhere. But and you guys have done just that. So Moku not scatter our pass as a day now. Even the comment section is bubbling, and I really like that. So 1 minute each. So let's Chimfoun go first. Ladies will not go first this time. So Chimfoun, you first.
Okay, so one thing I want to tell creators, I think I'll borrow this statement from Eva. There was a time when I discovered Eva as a creator, when she came out from her yes, when she came out from a depressive stage and now started. I mean, there was this Telegram group she had, 1111. I joined one of the session, and there was something she said that struck me and made me realize something. The greatest power God had was the power of creation. The fact that he created the earth that me and you are in. And the very funny thing, the Bible said, ye are gods. And when he said ye are gods, there's one thing that God still did. He passed on that power of creation to you. So that is why you still use the word, this guy is creative, this girl is creative, because there's a way the person will think, it will bust your head, you will be like, this one is out of this world, dude. You understand? Today we are having humans now have created AI. We want to pass on the intelligence God passed to us to a computer. We are creative. So the only word I will tell to creators is keep creating. There's no end to it. Keep creating.
There's no end, right? Yeah. Because if God did not create the earth, we won't be here today. So imagine God said, I will create it tomorrow. Or I will do it, I'll create man next year.
They say create it tomorrow, you for no day now.
Exactly. So imagine what you are denying somebody of because you have refused to create. Just imagine that. Imagine what you're denying somebody of because you have refused to create. Thank you very much. That's very powerful, Chimfoun. Thank you very much for that final words.
You're welcome.
Ladies next. Phil, 1 minute. Your turn.
Can I talk?
Yes, of course.
Okay, okay. All right. So because what Chimfoun said, you people should create. There's no limit to creation. I be make una dey create. My own, what I will tell you is, don't just be creating, especially if you want to monetize. Go and get clarity from Elo first. Because the truth is that a lot of people are creating without clarity. And when it comes to monetization, quote and unquote, if you really want to monetize, the place of clarity cannot be overemphasized. You know, when Elo Hall launched this brand, was the this
Grow
growth
challenge,
challenge,
grow
yeah.
challenge.
The only thing that made me not to sign up was because I felt that the level of, even if I can still sign up, someone an officer, I never be pro. But what I'm trying to say is that the level
Who be
of
pro?
clarity that I have right now is enough for me to get to the next step that I want to go to. But most people, even the basic clarity that you need as to who your audience really is,
You don't
how
have
to
it.
be more specific in your communication and in your messaging, the brand that you really want to build, how you need to position, you don't have that clarity. So the first thing is not about just going to Canva and start designing this thing, or you go to Canva and bring up a reel and you just begin to say one thing. And what the reason why most people you see that most people, all they do is motivational content. Motivational content is not going to help you monetize. So if you're only creating your audience are only going to be motivated, and the truth is that there's enough motivation online. So if you're only creating motivational content and you feel it's going to make you connect to your audience in a way that allows them to give you their money, that's a very big fat lie. Mm,
Now the money, oh, at the end of the day, all these things we are doing, and the money concern us.
yes.
Now the
No,
money, because if you're not making
no,
money, how you want to get data?
na money, na
motivational
money, na
content.
money,
When you're
na
not a
money, yo.
motivational speaker, motivational content, when you're not a motivational speaker, is not going to help you monetize your brand. So
Yeah.
just putting that reel saying, oh, today is Saturday, come out and post your content and just post your content is not enough for you to monetize. So if you're really struggling with how to put out content, how to really know who you're speaking to, how to refine your messaging in a way that if you really need clarity around your brand, mission, vision, your values, and what you really want to build, especially if you're looking at building a brand that will sustain for the long term, then you need to get clarity. But if you're looking for, Ella teaches messaging as well. So if you're looking for messaging that can help you, please just start. Anyway, just start. I know it's not easy. The really difficult part is how to start. But when you start, and if you're looking to monetize, again, like I said, you need to get the required skill set, get the knowledge, and then there's the place of implementing. Because a lot of people are used to, once they say your favorite coach is launching, the next thing is how you want to go and look for money to buy. And then when you buy, you look it up on seller, and you don't go and open seller again. The cost is going to rot in there and it's going to die there. So it's not about having the money to buy. The big thing is really on going through the course and implementing the shit. All right. So I think that's basically it. And I
Amazing.
think
Thank
that's
All
you.
what
right, this is
And
it.
to
This is it.
clarify
I'm
Let me add something.
hey,
right.
these people wake up
Yeah.
today and I can't attack. Hey,
This is it. This is it. Let me add something.
okay, over, oh
Eh?
yeah, over for you. Add.
Eh? All right. I'm just going to add to what you say, right?
One thing,
Because
oh, one thing.
clarity is important. If you want to really be a creator, go and read the story of creation in the Bible. Anytime God said, "Let there be
That's
this,"
what I want to say. Oh,
look,
before you're saying it, go on.
see, when God said, "Let there be this," there was a reason for it for him. Like you will see in the Bible, say, "Let there be this," so that it will divide the this. So when you are creating, no go create. Your creation should have a reason you are creating it.
Uh-huh.
Let us make man in our own image and give.
The
You will see
Bible
that
has
there
that
was a
agreement.
reason. You understand? So there should be that clarity. And like Phil said, every other thing she said, clarity and DCC
Comes
are
first.
one.
Yes.
Like this.
Thank you very much. I'm so free to clarify something, yeah. I think I do messaging, clarity on messaging. I also do clarity on messaging. But yours is tailored to content. I don't teach people content creation. So you help people clarify their message so that they can create content. Me, I don't teach
Exactly.
content. So they can
Okay.
create content. Me, I help people clarify their message so that they can sell themselves confidently. So it's
Okay.
not tied to content, it's beyond content. Everything that goes, I
Okay,
want to
yours is
connect
really about the brand.
about the brand. Yes, I don't say, oh, this has to create content, but what I may share, what you will learn during my own stuff will give you clarity on how to go about your content. So that's where they will now need you to know how to create the content itself. So that's the difference between, you see how we are all hammering on messaging but different things. You see but yes, what Chimfoun has said, so you can follow Phil, please, if you know that you need to be clear on how you create your content and all of those things and how you put it out and communicate. Please follow Phil on Instagram. I will tag her to this video. I'll tag everybody that participated today to this video, so you can all connect with them. Even if you're watching the replay, right, you can connect with each and every one of them on Instagram. That creation thing that Chimfoun said, I wanted to say that as well, that even before God said, let us make man, let us do this, there is that clarity already. He already knows why he should make man. He already knows what is what. You already know that, oh, this one is animal, this is where animal will be in. So if you don't have that clarity, you will just be creating and creating. Imagine God was just creating and creating. There will not be difference between animal. There will not be hierarchy. Not between man, animal, water, sea. Everybody will just there.
We for the live for water.
Everybody live for water. Exactly. So that clarity is very, 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 very important. Oh my God, today has been a lot. Somebody said, right on, there's always a why, a reason behind every creation. Yes, your creation should follow a clear path. Yes, James said, because brand A don't post, you two won't post. Now you don't, you be. Oh my God. So this session has been really amazing. I don't know how to thank Chimfoun and thank Phil. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to do this. I've learned, I've had fun. It's been amazing. When I just prepared for today, when I saw Phil did video on our story and said, I'm ready for today, I just said, gang. Then Chimfoun sent me DM. I said, yeah, so I have my network ready. I said, hey, these people are on fire. And you brought that fire. You brought that fire here today. And I'm super grateful. I'm excited that we had this session. I had fun. I learned. Everybody, even the comments could tell. The comment can tell that everybody learned, everybody had fun. And there's no better way to end the Grow Conference than what we've had here today. So I'm really grateful to you guys. Thank you for accepting to come here. Again, like I've used to say in all of the sessions, I've never met Phil in my life. I've never met Chimfoun before. We all met on Instagram. We all connected from there, and that's how we're here today. So connection is always something. Somebody has something to say. Okay, I would like to add that sometimes clarity comes along the way. When God finished creating the earth, he saw it was beautiful. When he looked and saw that there was need to create man to dominate the earth. Lovely, comfort. Thank you so much for adding that. Yes, that is true. Sometimes clarity comes along the way, right? And sometimes it's clarity that comes along the way. You may even need people to help you. Because even before God created man, he went to consult his host of heavens and everything.
Even after he created man, he said, no, yes, this man they alone. No. This man needs a woman, a helpmeet.
He consulted Adam, God did not say, I should make man. He said, we should. Meaning that is a collective agreement, which also means that sometimes even in getting the clarity, you need somebody. You need somebody to even help you get that clarity. So clarity comes as you go. You need to implement. It's not just about learning, and then you just go and sleep. As you are implementing along the way, you know that you need help. Go and seek help. Don't hold yourself back and say, I will figure it out. Clarity comes from doing. Let me keep doing. You will keep doing, and it will take a longer time for you to get there.
Yeah, that's it. It takes longer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for your contribution. Thank you, Comfort. Thank you to our amazing panelists. This panel session is the longest I've ever had. Let me not say it's the most fun, so that
when they no fight you. They go drag you for Instagram now. Tomorrow na your birthday, you don't need dragging, no. Now only repost.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. Have a good
Thank you. So I'm so grateful. Thank you
very much, Lucky. Thank you for the
all right.